numbers. We're starting to see some numbers come in right now, and it's early. Not a lot of surprises so far, Tyler Cavalli, but we're looking closely at a few very key states here early on.
Polls have officially closed here in Nebraska,
right?
So now we're starting to see popping up just a little bit as fast as we can get them in. Of course, you can find that at your fingertips as well at krvn.com. And we will post information when we get it from our KRVN and our Twitter pages as well. But now we're starting to see some local and state results. Not only we were looking earlier, of course, at the presidential election, but as you open things up, is there anything that catches your eye so far right now here in Nebraska? I know the polls literally just closed 7 minutes ago.
Well, not a lot. It's really early to tell on a few things. We're seeing, with just a few votes counted, early leads by Kate Bowles, an early lead by Don Bacon there in the 2nd district. Kate Bowles is the Jeff Fortenberry's opponent. But again, it's so early. It's hard to say right now where that's, what's going to go. And as we watch the national stuff too, some people right now, you're looking at stuff, you might be panicking a little bit if your candidate's not doing very good, but it's hard to say right now. Right now, though, and there's a few things we can say, and that is that President Trump's doing pretty good.
Well, you mentioned panic. I don't think anybody can panic or cheer or celebrate right now because things are too early. Listen, it's only 8:08 here Central Time. If we're talking about presidential election in particular, it is too early to celebrate. It's also too early to panic if you're one way or the other. So I think you have to have some patience right now because things are going to, I think, only going to get a little bit more juicier, if you will.
And that's tough because we've been, a lot of people have been waiting for this for a really long time. And so it's can be pretty disheartening. Early numbers for in Nebraska do look good for the gaming proposals, the 429, 430, 431 early on there, but they seem to be doing pretty good so far too.
Just looks like we have numbers here from Nebraska in terms of voting for president. Trump with 50, Biden with 47 here in the state of Nebraska.
Yeah, the only interesting race there is possibly in Nebraska too, which is the Omaha district, that one did go to Obama in 2008. Mm-hmm. Again, Nebraska is one of only two not win it all states, winner take all states, I should say. You could actually divvy up 3 of them. 3 for sure is the most conservative Republican district in the United States. That will go for Trump. District 1 probably will go for Trump. That's Lincoln and eastern Nebraska, but Douglas, Sarpy County, that's District 2. And there's a chance the Biden's in play there anyway.
All right, very good. In terms of local coverage, we don't have a lot to report in terms of Dawson County results with any of those going on right now. Again, we just are starting to get some stuff in. We are probably looking at, in particular, local Dawson County results, maybe around the 9 o'clock hour. From what we understand, doing things a little bit different. They're going to have results all at one time. Right. At the 9 o'clock hour, in particular here in Dawson County.
Yeah, that is different. That kind of as results came in, they would get it. Like right now, I'm looking at the Secretary of State's page. You were looking at that earlier. So, there's no gradual thing here for Dawson County. It's here it is, and so we will get that to you as soon as we get it, as Bob Brogan gets it, who's camped down. I believe he's been there for 3 or 4 days down at the courthouse getting ready for this. So we'll hear from him as soon as he gets those results.
Right. Yeah, no, Bob has been terrific. Yes. Bob Brogan's been doing this for years and years. Terrific job. Great coverage by the news team as always. I want to thank our own Russ Holden here as well, who is helping out this evening. Ellen Simmons, Alexis Sander, you, of course. Everybody. It's all hands on deck when we come to this time of year, and especially tonight in particular. So I really appreciate all the coverage there. But before we go, we'll jump in here in probably another 20, 25 minutes or so. Any last takeaways we have no new developments, I don't think, right now. But again, we shouldn't have some more information. I think some good information to pass along around 8:35 when we come back on.
I think we will. I think especially the state of Nebraska, we're going to have a lot of votes, and we're getting, again, numbers have been huge. I mean, people at the polls have just been, they've been standing in line for long lines. And so that's really exciting to see that. But yeah, we should know when we come back on. I think we'll have a pretty good idea of a lot of the Nebraska races. And some big states in the presidentials, you've heard Fox say, are getting ready to come in. They've already looks like they may have already called Nebraska at this point, as you would expect for Trump.
Sure.
So yeah, we'll know a little bit more.
Okay.
And it'll be exciting.
All right, very good. He is Scott Foster. I'm Tyler Cavalli. Of course, for up-to-date information, you can find that at krvn.com. There's a big banner. You can't miss it. It says voting page there. Check it out. You can find not only local information, but state, and then, of course, we'll give you presidential stuff as well. All of that is at krvn.com.
And let's hear from Bob Brogan here. He had a preview on some of the races that are going on locally. Let's see if we can't hear from him right now.
Yeah, the presidential race is probably one of the biggest draws in the statewide and Dawson County general election. As you mentioned, Bob Brogan did have a preview for us.
President Donald Trump, the Republican nominee, is opposed by former Vice President Joe Biden, the Democratic nominee, and Libertarian Joe Jorgensen. U.S. Senator Ben Sasse of Fremont and 3rd District Representative Adrian Smith of Gering are both seeking re-election. Both are Republicans. In seeking a second 6-year term, Sasse faces 2 Democratic opponents, primary winner Chris Janusik and write-in candidate Preston Love Jr., as well as Libertarian nominee Gene Sladek. All 3 are from Omaha. Smith is seeking an 8th 2-year term against Democrat Mark Elworth Jr., who lives in Omaha, and Libertarian Dustin Hobbs of Grand Island. Nebraska voters will decide 6 ballot issues, 2 proposed by the legislature, and the rest the result of initiative petition drives. Amendment 1 would remove an exception to Nebraska's slavery prohibition for punishment for crime. Amendment 2 allows extra time for developers to recover costs through tax increment financing in extremely blighted areas. Initiative 428 limits the interest rate that payday lenders charge to 36% per year. Initiatives 429, 430, and 431 would authorize casino gambling at Nebraska's horse racing tracks and set its initial regulations and casino tax rates. For the Rural Radio Network, I'm Bob Brogan.
All right. Thank you very much, Bob. Something interesting, I think, on the Secretary of State's office that you found? You look like you found?
Well, I'm just kind of looking around. I guess I was surprised to see just some number. I was actually, what I was thinking was it was one of those moments when I was coaching basketball and we would be playing somebody that was much better than us and we would take a lead. I would say we need to call a timeout and take a picture. Well, right now, Joe Biden has a lead in Nebraska, so he needs to stop and take a picture. But that's with 0 precincts reporting at this time. So
Okay.
It's very low. It's very low.
Okay, very good. Again, we'll have a whole bunch of coverage tonight in the 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and a little bit of the 10 o'clock hour as well. As we get results, we'll pass those along to you locally and statewide as well. But for now, we'll return it to coverage of Fox News. Again, he's Scott Foster. I'm Tyler Cavalli. We'll chat with you again here around the 8:35 mark. Thank you.
On air.